I'm Ron in the truck. It's my lunch break video. Gonna be talking about Buddhist mindfulness versus Christianity and its mindfulness. So, with Buddhism, this is going to be a Soto Zen and Rinzai perspective. I was a Buddhist for about a long time. Lived at a Zendo, lived with the Zen Master Tim, who was the Dharma heir of Kobenchino Utagawa. Never met him, but I knew Tim for quite many years. And so he was the real deal for Zen. What it is in Buddhism, you let your thoughts come and go, not giving rise to thoughts or not extinguishing them, not judging them, and looking for pretty much its breakthrough is the best I could describe it. It's enlightenment or going beyond good and bad, God, no God, good and beyond concepts of good and evil, and you're dealing with karma and birth, death, rebirth until you reach nirvana. Now, obviously, this is going to be the Reader's Digest condensed version of the religion, but it's pretty accurate there. And so there would be the Soto sect that I was, it's kind of like denominations that you would have in Christianity. The sect that I was part of, it was mindfulness. And so just being mindful of everything. And that would lead you to the pearly gates of nirvana. Not that nirvana has pearly gates at all. In fact, they'd probably say, I could just hear them, there is no thing to attain, there is no attainment, because even in attainment there's duality. And so even to think that is wrong. So now with Christianity, it is the mindfulness of God in the totality of everything. Me making this video, being aware of God, washing the dishes, driving the car, in every moment, every good moment. And allowing God into every moment, including the bad ones, so that he can change them from bad to good, so that I can change. The mindfulness, what I enjoy from the Christian perspective, is Brother Lawrence practicing the presence of God, which is pretty much Brother Lawrence. He lived, I think, in the 1600s, and it's a free PDF online. It's really, you can jump in anywhere on his book. It's basically you do everything for the love of God and the mindfulness of God in the moment, and that our connection to God, and that it develops a relationship, a communion between us and God. And that nirvana isn't, in Christianity it's not nirvana, it's the kingdom of heaven to come within us. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So the end game for the Christian folk would be to know God at any and every given moment and act accordingly. Whereas in Buddhism, it was, now I'm not enlightened, but I was there for 20 years, and so it was to have an understanding of every moment and understand the suchness and the intrinsic value of that moment, not giving rise to good or bad in the moment. And I might not be doing it justice, but to be honest, there's not a lot of Zen masters out there, and there's not a lot of people, there's a lot of people studying it, like me, but they call it authentication, where, you have Buddhist Dharma transmission. Pretty much, now this is the Christian perspective, so I'm not trying to hate, but it's like, you get in the spirit of Buddhism, it is the spirit of Buddha nature, and it's pretty much diametrically opposed to Christianity. Now this was in a lecture given by Tim. It's pretty much, and he only said this once, but it's somewhere I can search it in scriptures. To the Buddhist, eternal life would be hell, because all life is pain and suffering, and it has to do with causality and karma again, and to escape life and its suffering is part of, the end game of the Buddhist theology. In Christianity, it's just the opposite. Life is to be attained forever, and it is through Jesus that the fallen nature, it's not karma, it is sin, which means to miss the mark. So it's man missing the mark with God, and that Jesus reconciled God to man through the cross, and not only did pay off the sin debt, but also reconciles God to man by his Spirit in a loving relationship that helps us to receive heaven now and eternity in this moment, starting now, lasting for eternity, and communing with the Father through the Spirit of his Son. Actually, not even of his Son, it's all three are one. So I think you got what I'm saying is through the Spirit that we get to commune with God for eternity, and it starts now. So there is the difference in the mindfulnesses of the two. Buddhism, it is for enlightenment and dealing with karma and nirvana and understanding the nature of, birth and death and then rebirth, which Christianity is going to go, no, ain't happening. It's one birth, one death, and then you get one rebirth, but that's the one you keep. And it's not so much a karmic thing, and you have a different personality and unaware of who you were. In Christianity is, no, you get reborn as whoever you are, again, into judgment, and whatever you have sown in this life is what you reap in the next. Basically, what you put out in this life is what you get judged by in the next. And when you believe on Jesus in faith and walk by love, you reap what you sow, which is good. And you reap eternal life with Jesus and his righteousness with the Father for eternity. So that's the difference. Mindfulness in both situations, but with different intent completely in both, and outcome as well. So my gig's with Jesus, and I've been digging it for 20 years, and I sit and look like a Buddhist, but on the inside I is Christian, and there's a perpetual love that flows inside of me that causes me to change and become happy, and that's heaven on earth for me. You can have it too. Ask Jesus into your life. Angels standing by. Habla español. Have a good weekend, guys. See you. Bye.